Now, when he talks about the parable of the talents, this has nothing to do with an ability to sing or to play an instrument or to dance or to create art or to cook, or talent to be able to play sports or something of that nature. When this talent is a unit of measurement, it is like a weight through which certain things of value are measured. And so it was a certain amount of poundage, like of gold or silver, that determined wealth. So one talent, say one talent. One talent represents 6,000 denarii. A denarius is 1 day's wage. 1 day's wage. One denarius is 1 day's wage. One talent is 6,000 denarii. 6,000 days' wage. So when you get one talent here, this was a considerable chunk of money. Now let me just break this down to you, because we don't use terminology like denarii and talent and all of that. We understand dollars and cents, don't we? Well, let me say this to you. One talent is equivalent to 6,000 days labor. Now, if you work 5 days a week for 50 weeks out of the year, that's only 250 days. So that means it would require you 24 years in order to come up to 6,000 actual days. One talent now is worth 24 years of pay. Can you imagine somebody handing you 24 years of salary at one time? That's just one talent. Remember, one man received 5 talents. So this was the wage, you do the math, for 125 years of working. And the other man received 2, so he received his basically for about 50 years of labor. And the man who received it for 1, I mean, don't feel sorry for somebody who's getting 25 years of salary. There's no need to feel sorry for them. You better feel sorry for yourself. You know? So a talent is a considerable chunk of money. We would almost call that a work life. There are some people, you get in the military, you can retire after 25 years. I mean, you've spent a whole career life, 25 years working. That's basically what a talent was equivalent to, was almost a lifetime of labor. The wages for that. That's one talent. So I just wanted to give that to you for perspective, so that you understand that this is not some chump change that we're talking about. And this is not just, as the term talent is not used here as some special ability. This is a unit of money that represents basically 25 years of labor. 25 years of labor. Every day's the wage for that for 24 years in actuality. So with that in mind, let's unpack the story here. In verse 14, the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling. Now you know that this is a simile. It's not a man traveling, but it's like a man traveling to a far country, who called his own servants and delivered his goods to them. Now remember, Jesus left his home in glory, and he traveled to the earth, and then he called his own servants. We are the servants of God, aren't we? We are his servants. And he delivered his goods to them. What are the goods that he delivered to us? They are his gifts. And notice now, his gifts are not the kinds of things that you put in a box. These are not the possession kinds of gifts. These gifts that he gave to mankind are actual people. Now, how do we know that? We know that from Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 8. He gave gifts unto men. He gave gifts unto men. He gave gifts unto men. So, and then Ephesians verses 11 and 12 breaks those gifts down and tell you exactly what the gifts are. Apostles, some prophets, some evangelists, some pastors and teachers, for the maturing of the saints for the work of their ministry. It's to help equip the saints for their ministry, so they come into their ministry for the edifying of the body of Christ. He gave them as gifts. That we call these the fivefold ministry gifts. These are gifts that he gave unto man. May I suggest to you that every time that you open your mouth to speak to a neighbor, to a co-worker, to somebody else's child, that you're operating as an evangelist in that capacity, and you become a gift from God to them. You are a gift. You are a gift.